Great news, my lord. We have received news from the quartermaster that our armories and barracks are almost fully outfitted for war. Whilst our orc armies were more than strong enough to conquer the lands of Gondor, Dol Amroth and Rohan, the arrival of the Black Uruks, Olokai, Black Númenóreans and Great Beasts will greatly speed up the rate at which we shall burn the lands of Middle-earth. Hello my friends, and welcome back to episode 11 of our Mordor campaign in 3rd Age Total War Divide and Conquer. And today I have a special guest, namely my girlfriend will be joining us for today's episode.
Hi!
She doesn't know anything about the game, she's watched a couple videos, she's watched the Lord of the Rings movies, but that's about as far as her knowledge goes. Let me just set up the microphone a bit different. Alright, there we go. So we are playing as Mordor, you remember them, right? Sauron and the orcs. We've already taken Minas Tirith.
The White City.
The White City, yeah. Exactly. We've killed Denethor, remember Denethor? The guy who lit Faramir on fire? The Mad King? Well, it wasn't king, it was steward.
Yeah, I know.
You remember Faramir?
Yeah. Yeah, no.
The brother of Boromir?
Yeah.
Killed him as well, we killed Boromir as well.
Okay.
In last episode, you remember Theoden, king of Rohan? You know Rohan, the horse people?
I know Rohan.
You remember Theoden, the king?
Uh-huh.
He died on the Battle of the Pelennor Fields in front of Minas Tirith. Well, we killed him yesterday. Yeah. Well, not yesterday, but in the previous video. Uh-huh. He killed our army still, but we killed him personally, but the rest of his troops killed us, because we were going to take Edoras, which is the capital of Rohan. Mm-hmm. That failed. Now Isengard, you remember Isengard? Saruman the White?
Yeah, I know.
The Uruk-hai. He's trying to take it, but I don't think he can succeed. So we're sending a new army. Zagar. That's one of our Nazgûl. Remember the Nazgûl, right? The ring wraiths.
Yeah.
We just got the last of the Nazgûl, because in the game you start with only one Nazgûl and they come up every couple turns. Okay. So we just got the Witch King. Remember the Witch King? The one on his dragon, fell beast, the one that Eowyn killed? There he is right there, the Witch King of Angmar. So we're actually going to start this episode with the battle, because that's an army we need to clean up. So again, this is all new to you. So we're fighting a Gondor army, but it's a pretty poopy army, because it's only like militia, which is like a low tier of units. They don't have proper manpower. So the balance of power, it says it's in our favor, but it's a lot more in our favor than the game would let you think, because we have pretty units stat-wise. Like their attack is pretty low, their defense is pretty low, but we have fear on our side. We can make them run away rather easily, especially with the Witch King. So with that said, we're gonna jump in our first battle. Alright, so here we are on the battlefield. We're going to start our deployment. Now, if you were a general, how would you deploy your troops? I know you watched Game of Thrones, and you remember...
No.
You remember me telling you that the Battle of Winterfell was strategically...
Yeah, let's not start about that.
Very stupid. So how would you go about it? So we have like 3 kinds of units, right? You have cavalry, which is...
With the horses.
Horses. You have infantry, which is just a regular, sword and spear in my case, or orc maulers, which is... That's a shock infantry, because they use like two-handers, so they're not really good at a front line, but if you move them round, and they can charge in the back of the enemy, for example, they can do a lot of damage. They're more offensive than defensive. Well, these guys, the Morannon Guard, they have shields and spears, so they're more of a defensive unit.
So,
third, we also have the archers, of course. The ones with bows, like these orc archers, for example. So how would you position the men?
Oh god.
The enemy's gonna spawn here, we don't see them yet.
The one with the shields in the front, I guess?
Yes, okay, I'll just gather them real quick.
Oh my god.
I think
the archers behind. No, totally in the back.
All the way in the back, okay.
So they're protected.
So you have like a shield wall here?
Yeah.
Alright, you know what I would do personally, if I can correct you that?
Do it.
No. I just want you to understand the reasoning. But then again, this is just the way I play it. I always put the archers in front. I do like the shield wall. That's always good to have your defensive units forming a front line. I usually put the archers in front so they can get a couple of volleys off straight into the enemy.
Yeah.
And then once the enemy starts moving closer to us, we can then move the archers back and they can provide cover fire. Okay. Alright, I actually forgot. No, the Minas Morgul Chosen are there. Alright, and then the cavalry. What do we do with the cavalry? How would you use your cavalry? Your horsemen. Remember, the Witch King in this case is also a horseman. It's the first time we're actually seeing these Temple Knights in action. They're one of our finest units. As the Witch King is apparently missing his legs. That looks rather painful.
I don't know. Maybe.
Alright, so
send them in.
You're just gonna charge them in like the Dothraki?
No, actually I have no idea.
Alright, so I'm gonna put the Orc Maulers, which is our shock force, on the flanks. Now, if I remember correctly, the enemy does not have cavalry, which is an important thing to note. So we're going to start the battle, and then the enemy's going to pop up. See, there they are. That's Gondor's finest right there, because we've already taken most of Gondor.
Okay.
They really have not that much. They're on the brink of destruction.
Pretty sad.
You like Gondor more than Mordor? You don't like the evil campaign we're doing?
I'm empathic.
Oh, okay. You kind of feel bad for them. For some reason, the game does not like me to group them up. What? Oh, it's because of the Witch King. There we go. Now they can move in formation.
Okay.
The Witch King apparently has like a special ability, Terror of the Witch King, which is rather good. Because the Nazgûl, just the regular Nazgûl, the other 8, they have the Cry of the Nazgûl, which you remember that
scream,
sound? Yeah, the scream, and that invokes fear into the enemy. I also need to check what time it is because we need to record for about an hour. Okay, that invokes fear into the enemy.
Yeah,
we're already running away like little bitches. But I guess this is maybe like an even more powerful version of it. I guess we'll find out. I can take a look on the strategy map what the abilities do. So we also have some men from the south here, Southern Warband, which is the people from Ered. Remember them? They're the ones with the elephants.
Oh yeah.
But we don't have any elephants ourselves. But we kind of recruit them to fight for us because they are servants of Sauron.
Yeah.
Now what we're doing right now is just destroying Gondor and Rohan. We've already destroyed Dol Amroth, but Dol Amroth, they're not really mentioned in the movies, but they're part of Gondor basically.
Okay.
So they're already gone. That's one of 3 major enemies that's already gone. And once they're done, we can go and try to reclaim the One Ring, which is currently in Rivendell. Remember Rivendell? The Elves?
Yeah.
With Elrond and the beautiful trees?
Yeah,
the pretty place where Bilbo was just kind of chilling. So we're moving the men closer. Also, by the way, for those people that are watching, my girlfriend is using the headset, so I'm currently without sound, but I know pretty much what the sound cues are that I need to watch out for anyway. So we're going to put skirmish mode off. If you enable skirmish mode and the enemy gets closer, the archers automatically run, but I find it a little bit annoying. We're also going to put them on guard mode so they don't rush forward. Alright, and they're just getting massacred. I'm not sure what that position is. That's Lamadon Clansmen. They kind of look Scottish, don't they? They're getting shot. So the plan basically is to just shoot them because we have way more archers than they do and they're much better as well. I don't know what their position is. And just kind of force them to attack us so we can have the defensive position. And then what we're going to do is use our cavalry to smash them from behind. That's the hammer and anvil tactic. I'm not sure if I've already talked about that at some point. So basically, you know what an anvil is, right? What you use for smithing? You put like a sword on it and you smash it, that part. So you use the infantry, especially the shields, as the anvil. So the enemy just gets stuck on there, and then you use the hammer to just smash them in the rear. And that does a lot of damage, and it also causes morale to really suffer. Because when an enemy's surrounded, they like don't want to fight, and they're like, oh, we're scared, we're going to run away. So they're right now just doing exactly what I thought they would do. The archer fire is just whittling them down slowly but surely. But really don't care too much about the damage. It's 7% losses, which is decent. If I hover over here, I can see the percentage loss. So we lost 1% of our troops, which is just to archfire, and they lost 8% already. Yeah. So we do have superior skirmish capabilities. They are getting closer now, so we're going to gather our archers. We're taking quite a beating, actually. And we're going to get them ready to pull back a little bit further. So they have a nice firing angle. Because the higher your angle of fire, the more difficult it is to hit something efficiently. If you can fire in a straight line, it does a lot more damage. Now an archer unit is also particularly weak to a good old cavalry charge, and seeing as they left their archers exposed, they're trying to run, but we're going to send in this cavalry. I'm going to press scroll lock, and then we get like a nice cinematic view of the cavalry just smashing. Ah, doesn't that sound nice?
It hurts a bit.
It hurts to watch.
No, it's just a game.
Is it just a game though? Alright, so they're now preoccupied with our infantry. We're going to send our orc maulers into the sides. They can also be part of the flanking force, but mainly it's going to be the cavalry, so we're going to send them in on the Gondor militia. Oops, sorry, wrong click. Then get the Witch King, because I kind of want to see what his ability does. Terror of the Witch King. Imagine just a more powerful Cry of the Nazgûl, seeing as is the main Nazgûl, the strongest of the 9. Alright, now for now we only have orcs and men, but at one point we're also going to get trolls and great beasts and just a lot more stuff. But that's locked behind a thing called the barracks event, so you only get like your higher tier units after about 6 60 if I'm not mistaken. So we're almost there. We should get the barracks event soon, and then we can start recruiting. So they're already running. See, routing.
Yeah.
They run away, and then they're easily. All right, let's plop the Terror of the Witch King, and that much. Yeah, everyone's just running now. They're infighting, which means they're fighting each other. Just kind of confused.
The Witch King is using Scream, I think.
Is Scream? Oh, you can hear it. Yeah, you can hear it. Yeah.
I can hear it.
Which is rather scary. I mean, I wouldn't want to fight that, to be honest. And I'm microing very horribly right now, but that's okay. Because they're dying anyway, they're running. And when they're run, you can just run them down with cavalry, and you can take them prisoner. This number on the bottom right here, that's the amount of prisoners you take.
Okay.
But in our case, it doesn't matter too much, because we never use prisoners for anything else than executing them. We always execute our prisoners.
Okay.
It's role-playing, you know? What else would Mordor do? Do you think they'd ransom prisoners, just try to sell them off? Of course not. They're going to eat them. That's man flesh. It's man flesh, yeah. Alright, so they're running. Territorial Guardsmen. That's also a pretty defensive unit. So I've already done a Gondor campaign at one point. I don't know if you remember that. So I do know most units rather well. Like the Archer Militia, I know they're decent, but they're not going to hold on their own. The Gondor Militia, they're one of the better militia units, but they're still the militia unit. And militia is basically peasants with armor and weaponry. They're not professional soldiers. And they can't get any more professional soldiers because the barracks event hasn't happened yet, so they can't train any. And we've already killed most of the professional soldiers at the Battle of Minas Tirith and Osgiliath. Remember Osgiliath? That place that's like a ruin where they cross with the boats? Okay, so we won the battle now, so we get the message victory. We can either continue or end it. And you always need to check that you killed at least 85% of the army. Because if you haven't, they run away. We've
is
only...
it the red thing?
No, the red thing is the balance of power. That's the game saying how much of a chance you have of winning. But it's the percentage here. That says 75%.
So that should be enough.
That should not be enough because we need 85%.
85.
So we're going to continue. We're going to run them down. Because if they're under 85, then the army disbands. They no longer fight. If we let them run, the remaining 25% will just kind of run away and we can meet them again in battle at one point. But if we kill enough, the army's like, we've had enough, you know, we're not going to keep fighting. We've also captured the general. What's his name? Captain Boron, alright. So we can also speed it up, just capture them all. And we are at 91%, which is plenty. We've lost 6%, but some of those guys that were killed will actually be resurrected, as in they're not really killed, they're just wounded. So some will come back. So if we exit the battle now, it was 6%, now we're at 5%, so we got 1% extra. So they had about 1.6k units, we had 3k, and we killed plenty more of them than they killed of us. Yeah, we completely crushed them. Not because our troops are better, because they're not, it's purely because of morale. Anyway, I'll see you all back on the strategy map. Alright, so there we go. So we can ransom them, which basically means you like ask for money.
Yeah, sell them out. No.
Yeah, you can sell them back to Gondor, like, hey, you want your troops back? We can release them if we're very kind-hearted, but we're not. We're Mordor, we're evil, we eat them. So execute for me is just eating them. It's a lot of man flesh, you know, 68, 104, if you add that all up, that's like, I don't know, 400 man flesh or something. Execute them, and they will fall down. There you go. They're no longer bothering us. This used to be Dol Amroth's territory, but we killed them by killing off their entire family tree. So they had no one left to lead them. So that's why they all became rebel lands. So we're besieging Mithras, that will fall in one turn. This guy's on our side. He's the Ered, or he's kind of neutral, but for now he's on our side, so we don't have to worry about him. Then I send Balaknar Sunfire, which is not one of the Nazgûl, to take Dol Amroth, and then the Witch King can take Edhellond. So we're just going to build some siege equipment now. Let's see how long they can last. 6 turns of siege, because otherwise they run out of food and they have to move out. This one will hold out 8 turns. This one's about to fall, right. We're also getting some more troops to our front line, because as you can tell, this is Gondor territory. You got Minas Tirith, which we named Minas Morgul. All of this was land we took. Our main production is still in Mordor itself. So if we want to get units from one side to another, so armies, we want to raise armies, we need to build them here.
Okay.
But we're running a bit low on money. And I do kind of need to prepare for when the barracks event hits, so I'm actually not going to train those guys. Just going to check that everyone's moving. You need to move to Minas Morgul for retraining. If a unit's like a bit buggered up, I'm going to send you to Minas Morgul. So not completely dead. The unit's still alive, but they're kind of like weakened a bit. Then you can just send them over for retraining, so you get the manpower back. And units also gain experience in the field. So, you know, a unit that's in a lot of battle will become a stronger unit. You can also give them weapon upgrades, armor upgrades, and all that jazz. So the Amroth will fall relatively quickly, as in the rebel lands. And then we can move on to Gondor. This is like the last part of Gondor here. So that's why I'm also focusing on Ered at the same time. So Zaga, you need to move over. And I think that's all we want to do for this turn. Just want to send Grishnak over. He's building watchtowers, which basically means that I have a line of sight. I can see what's going on beyond the border. Because, for example, this is something that probably won't mean much to you right now. But this used to be the Dorwinian land, the purple faction. They took that land. Well, it was supposedly of Rune, which is the Easterlings. Now, the Easterlings are on my side. Dorwinian is kind of on my side. They kind of like me for some reason, but they shouldn't. They're kind of a good faction. So it's kind of interesting to see that Rune took that land back, because at one point I was scared that Dorwinian was going to maybe attack us at some point, so maybe I had to raise an army. But I don't think that will be necessary now. So more troops are moving to Rohan. We have Zagar moving in. We should have plenty of troops. I don't have to worry about the south. So we should be okay, and I'll move on to turn 59. Alright, so Mithras, the one settlement we're actually besieging, did not decide to sally out. So when they're under siege, they can either just stay inside and like just be surrounded and don't have food or any supplies or all that, or they can sally out, which means they open the gates and they like charge forward, try to fend us off. And usually they do that. It's okay. Yeah, usually they do that at the when there's only like one turn left, because they got like nothing to lose. As you can imagine, right? If you're like, yeah, we're gonna die anyway.
They're kind of hopeless, actually.
Yeah, they're hopeless, so they're just gonna sally out and try to fend us off. But in this case, they didn't even try. They were like, what's the point? We're surrounded by a pretty elite army.
Just sad.
That is pretty sad, yeah. They've kind of lost all hopes. So from Mithras, we're going to exterminate the populace, which basically means we run in there, just kill a bunch of people, destroy some buildings.
Kill them all, actually.
Yeah, you like that?
You know.
The ends justify the means, right?
Yeah, just
do it. Alright, so that's a special building. We're not going to build that for now because it's a bit too expensive. Imladris is on the siege. Okay, so that's Rivendell, Imladris. The Hornburg's in the siege. Helm's Deep, remember Helm's Deep? The big battle with the Uruk-hai at the end of the, or near the end of the two towers? With the explosion that breaches the big wall.
Yeah. I know.
That's the Hornburg.
Okay.
So Isengard's trying to take that. Alkwood's part of the Ered, but you don't have to worry about that. That's not the importance. Alright, Zagar, keep moving. Edoras is still on the siege. That's good. That means that Isengard hasn't taken it yet, and we will be there in about 2 turns. Alright, good. Factions and armaments. Okay, nothing too special there. This is the end of turn report, which is basically like a report sheet of everything that's been going on. So military-wise, we're number 5, but really we're number 1. Production-wise, we're number 1. Population, we're number 1. Overall, we're number 1. So we're doing quite well in this campaign. It's not the most difficult of campaigns. We're having a...
I didn't expect any of that from you.
Oh, thank you very much. That's a very kind compliment of you. Very sincere as well. Alright, so we're going to build... actually, we're going to check first. So this used to be a Dol Amroth settlement, and they build a lot of buildings that we can't use. So whenever there's like enables training of Orc Maulers, for example, that's a useful building. Okay. We can use that. Stables do nothing for us. We're just going to destroy that. It's going to make some noise. You heard that?
Yeah,
I
heard it.
The Horse Breeder's Guild, I don't think does anything for us. I'll just destroy that. I mean, I think it does, but it's very unlikely that we're ever going to train horses there. So now we build the Shrine of Melkor, which is basically a guy even more evil than Sauron. Yeah, that's pretty evil, right?
How?
And we're going to move Zagar, Shivus, the Desert Sand, north, because we no longer need him here. So he's going to join the war against Gondor, whilst the Witch King takes care of Edhellond. Balak-Nari can besiege Dol Amroth itself, which I have express orders not to exterminate the populace of Dol Amroth. I need to keep it in... Because Melkor, not the evil guy Melkor, but the guy on the comments on YouTube, he told me that I can't do it. Because Dol Amroth is a very important settlement, so we're not going to do that. And we're going to respect that. So they got a bunch of rebels. They got some Emerothian units, like Emerothian pikemen, some Emerothian archers. I don't think they're going to sally out. If they do, we should have an... Yeah, we've got a ballista as well. So actually, we can actually attack it if we want, once the siege equipment is done. We'll see. So you keep moving. We have some money to spend. Barracks event will be soon. We got roads in Dol Ungol. That's quite nice. So I kind of just want to prepare for that, which we should be mostly ready for it. I think we're good. Maybe get some mines. It's always difficult. So basically every turn you get like a bit of money, and you need to like choose how you spend it. And basically it's 2 things you can spend it on. It's either you build stuff, so you make your settlements better, either economically or military-wise, or you buy units. soldiers.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
But yeah, I think for now we need to focus on our economy. So our economy is strong when the barracks event takes place, and we can start training like big trolls and all that stuff. So I'm just checking what the potential income is from these mines, but it's not that good. Harad's also moving south. That's the elephant people. They don't actually haven't brought any elephants, but they have brought camels, which is...
That's interesting, though.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I wouldn't want to fight a camel. I don't know about you.
I'm not kind of a fighter.
You're not a fighter?
No.
You're a lover, not a fighter.
No.
Alright, let's build a grain exchange, because that's rather cheap, and it boosts our... Actually, no, let's get the Melkor shrine here. Let's destroy the stables. That's something I forgot to do last turn. Anything else? What do I want to do? What do I want to do? That's the important question. We can build a carpenter's hut here. That's always useful. We can build... hunting lodge is always good as well. So do you like the game so far?
Yeah.
Because maybe
so far as I get it.
Yeah, maybe you should start a YouTube channel and do videos like these.
No, I'm a bit too shy for that.
You're too shy.
Yeah.
I think you're doing excellent.
Thank you. That's very sweet.
Just kind of seeing how we want to spend last bit of cash. Perhaps a blacksmith so we get better armor.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I mean, if you have shitty units, might as well deck them out in full plate, right?
But aren't your units okay?
They're orcs. They're not great.
Okay, yeah.
They do their job. Some are better than others, but our best units, or our strongest soldiers are the Nazgûl, basically. We kind of rely on them a lot. Without them, we'd have a pretty rough time. Oh, bugger. What to build. Also, I just quickly want to point out that I haven't forgotten to rename some of the settlements. It's something I'll do in episode 12 when I have more time to read all your suggestions. I think I'm going to save that bit of cash, and I think I'll round off the turn. Oh, wait, we got Southron Lancers. So, orcs don't ride horses, but we can recruit people from the south to form our cavalry, and that is super important. Without cavalry, this campaign would be a lot more difficult. Any campaign is more difficult without cavalry. Cavalry is key, especially in this game. Alright, I think we'll go to turn 60 then. Alright, here we are. No barracks event yet, it seems. We do have some faction announcements. So that's just like generals and governors just getting new traits and stuff. It's really not that important for us. It's something I do check more when we have like a smaller territory and smaller amount of generals and all that. But we just have so many generals. And I also made a house rule that I only use Nazgûl to lead attacking armies. Yeah. So I do have like orc generals. There was Gothmog, but he died. That's a long story. But Isengard's still besieging Erebus for like 10 more turns. I just want them to sally out and take care of him. Because I don't think I can besiege him and take it. I can take the fort. This is my spy right here, so I'm just going to check around. Alright, so I think... Okay, so Isengard was not able to take the Hornburg, so Helm's Deep still stands, which is very surprising. I really would have thought Isengard would have taken down Rohan at this point, but they really haven't. I just want to take Erebus. I want Erebus for my own. I don't want to fight this guy. Oh, that's annoying that this guy is out there, because he's probably going to move and try to attack the army that's besieging Erebus. So I don't want to get in his way. I want to be like, yeah, go ahead and take down those Isengardians.
You can take them after.
Yeah, exactly. If they kill Isengard, or that army there, then I can just swoop in and take Erebus. But with Erebus on the siege of Isengard, I either have to attack Isengard, which I don't want to do just yet. I don't want to do it soon, but not yet. Oh, yeah, that's really my only option then. So we'll see. But yeah, let's keep moving Shivus north. Alright, so Edhellond, that only has bandits. What I could potentially do is move my ballista over. You're gonna see some advanced strategies. You know what a ballista is?
I just wanted to ask you.
A ballista...
Is it like a catapult?
Like a catapult, sorta, yeah. It's like a big crossbow.
Oh, the thing they use in Game of Thrones to hit the dragons?
Yes, exactly. That's sort of a ballista. Yeah, okay, exactly.
Thanks.
So it kind of works like a catapult. It is like spring loaded, like you load a bow. You just pull back some kind of wood with like a very strong string, and then you fire it when it's under like great tension, so it gets like a lot of velocity. unlike a catapult, it doesn't fire a rock, but it fires like a bolt, which is basically a big arrow. So what we can do for Edhellond, seeing as that it's not the strongest element, we're going to use our battering ram to knock down the gate.
Yeah.
And then we can use the ballista to take down the towers, so they can't fire at us.
Okay, yeah.
And then we can just march in there and take the settlement without having to wait 4 turns. Because who wants to wait 4 turns, right? You want to see some big battles, right? So let's get it on.
That's why I'm here.
Captain Kundmaethor, which is an Elvish name, I think. For some reason, he only has bandits. He's gonna see an orc horde marching on his doorstep and about to burn down his city. So let's jump straight in.
God.
Okay, so remember all that stuff I said about we're going to use the battering ram to knock down the gate and then use the ballista to shoot the towers?
Yes.
That was all pretty pointless because this is a custom settlement, which means it's a map specifically designed for Edhellond. So it doesn't have walls, it doesn't have gates, it doesn't have towers, so I really did nothing of that. I can still use the ballista to shoot them though, which is fun. But yeah, so the bandits are just kind of taking place in what used to be an elven port. This used to be a port of the elves. I know it doesn't look much like a port, but the sea's right over there, so kind of makes sense.
It's a bit of a ruin, actually.
Yeah, it is a wreck. I don't know why. I'm sure someone in the comments will explain to me. Because those people know the lore a lot better than I do. I'm just a humble YouTuber. So we're gonna send in our men. Send in the Witch King as well, because he's scary. No man can kill him, right? And they don't have any women, so I don't think. No, they're not elves. They're bandits. They're led by an elf.
Oh,
they're elven rebels. Let's see. Yeah, that's the one elf. Because it used to be an elvish settlement, it has like the elven culture. So the game automatically thinks, oh, we need to make an elven rebel stack, but it doesn't actually get any elven units. It just gets bandits, which are pretty meh. As you can see, they use like butter knives and shields. Okay, that's a bit of a big butter knife, but still. Machetes and rickety ass shields.
Just some swords.
Yeah, some basic swords. And whilst we use like these cleavers, which is a bit more
sharper.
They do seem. I'm not sure if they're sharper because it's made by an orc, so it's not the finest quality.
I think they will do more damage.
Yeah,
than just.
I think so too, because I mean, look at the big guy just wielding it. Look at them. Doesn't this game look amazing? I mean, go on.
Yeah.
The horses running through. I know how old this game is. The base game, because this is a mod, of course. But like, you know how old Medieval 2 is. 5 years old?
Well, probably a lot older. No.
If I'm not mistaken, it's 14 years old, or even 16 years old.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna send in the maulers. They're just gonna go nuts. I know they're more of a flanking force, but in this case against the bandits, they're really.
So you just run into them.
I run into them and I kill them. Because they're not going to run this time because they're fighting for a settlement. They have nowhere to run to. But we can still do a lot of damage. Yeah, I went with the scream there. It does shake him. The Temple Knights, nothing can kill them, basically. They have nothing there that can stop us.
So what's the green units right now?
The green units are my units. I can also press this button and it flashes them. So I know, like, oh, the red's where the enemy is and the green is my units. And that's really useful when there's, like, a lot of crazy stuff happening. And you're, like,
yeah, in big battles.
We already killed Captain Kundmaethor, so the one elf in the settlement is already fallen. So that was kind of useless. Let's pull them back, because they were losing a couple of dudes, which I'd prefer not happen. This smaller unit is actually getting chewed up because there's just so many of them. Kind of expected them to do better. That's all right. We've got plenty in reserve. I once got compared to Stalin in terms of my command skills, because I just threw units towards the enemy and just like, it'll work out. And at first I was upset at the comparison, but then I was like, it's kind of accurate, kind of works, Alright, don't be scared. I'm gonna do another shriek there.
Yeah.
Very angry. I should probably send in more men. I'm kind of off my game here, because I'm so distracted with having you around.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'll just leave.
Because I should have used my archers and my ballista first to whittle down the enemy and just kind of make it harder on myself. But that's okay. At least the Witch King already leveled up a bit. So you have like these icons here that kind of look like what you see on a suit of like a military man.
Like
a chevron. Like kind of like them. It's called a chevron. That basically signals how much experience the unit has. So you have 3 tiers: bronze, silver, and gold. And you have like bronze 1, bronze 2, bronze 3, then they become silver 1, silver 2, silver 3. And the Witch King is already at gold 1, so he's already getting up there. And that basically makes them better units.
What are the numbers?
The numbers is how many men are in that battalion.
Okay.
So there's 40 horses in that battalion. For example, there's only one Orc Mauler of this unit left, whilst the normal Orc Mauler unit has 228, if I'm not mistaken.
Oops.
So yeah, they got pretty crushed, but that's alright. It's worth it. Alright, I'm going to do one last Shriek, which doesn't do a whole lot because, of course, they have infinite morale on the town square.
Yeah.
Because, well, they have nowhere to run, so they're like, we're not going to run.
What's that?
The timer means it's a siege battle, so you can win either by killing all the enemies or taking control of the settlement. If you control this area here with the flags for 6 minutes, you also win. So even if they have like 2,000 defenders still left, but they're just not fighting on the town square, we'll still win because we control the central area.
Yeah.
It kind of forces the enemy to defend instead of like running away and just wasting time, for example. You need to defend your settlement. Which is what they failed to do because we killed them. Even though we lost 380. Yes, yay! Even though we lost 380 men, which is 13% of our army, which is more than I would have liked. But it's all in all not too big of a deal. So the Witch King alone killed 300 men of 600 in total. So they killed about half. The Orc Maulers, the one that died, did take down a lot of dudes. But I thought they'd do better. I kind of wasted them, but that's alright. Alright, let's go back to the strategy map. Alright, so we see the rebels dropping dead there, and Edhellond is now in our possession. So again, we have the option of occupying it, which just basically means you take it as it is, and you just kind of change leadership.
Okay.
Or you sack it, which means you do some light destruction and kill a couple people, but nothing too much. Or you completely exterminate the populace. But when you hover over it, it says like population to be massacred 618, because it was, you saw the settlement, right? It was a ruin, so a lot of people lived there. So it's your choice in this case. I'll let you decide. Do we occupy, do we sack it, or do we exterminate it?
But
there's no wrong decision in this case, really.
The easiest thing is probably to exterminate.
That's the easiest, because that's kind of the idea. Who can rebel against you when there's no one there?
Yeah, sure.
No one's gonna be like, I don't like the new occupiers when no one's around, you know.
Yeah, sure, do it. It's
Alright,
okay for me.
Alright, it's your choice. Wasn't me. I didn't kill about 600 people. There's only 250 left now. So currently we have the situation where 250 townspeople are controlled by 3,000 soldiers, which is a bit of an unhealthy situation to be in. Yeah, this place was a wreck. I mean...
Yeah, it's not like...
Yeah, it wasn't
useful.
Yeah, I mean, it has potential, because it can become quite a decent port.
Oh, yeah. Oops.
We can rebuild it. No, that's fine. We can rebuild it from the ground up. So now we control that land, and I have this only one Dol Amroth territory remaining, which is Dol Amroth itself, the city. Because it's both a province, I guess you should call it a province, and the city. Okay, so we're going to move that ballista back because it's more useful at Dol Amroth. We'll do that next turn because he doesn't have movement points. And then we can send in both the Witch King army and the Shivu stack to just take the lands of Gondor. So we really have not too much to worry about right now. We are just cruising off to a strong victory. But if I open this here, this shows our victory condition, which is the conditions we need to meet in order to actually officially win the game.
Yeah.
And we need to hold 80 regions.
And
right now we have 26. So we're about a quarter of the way, a third of the way there.
Yeah.
So we still have a long... Yeah, we still have a lot of work to do. But the thing is, once we take Gondor and once Rohan's dead, we can do whatever the fuck we want.
Oh wait, that's... the whole map.
Yeah, I'll actually show you that. I haven't really shown that. So everything in red is ours, and you might wonder why is some darker red than others. That's because of watchtowers and line of sight. So that's my land, but I can't see what's going on there because I don't have any watchtowers there. So this is land I can see what's going on. The like green olive-ish color, that's Rohan.
Yeah.
This green is Dol Guldur. Which is it's kind of hard to explain, but it's part of our territory basically. They're allies of us.
Okay.
They're also controlled by Nazgûl.
You don't have to.
I'm not gonna go to war with them anytime soon. No, it's a safe border. Then the golden-ish orange kind of color is Easterlings of Ruin. You might remember them from the movie as well. They're the one with like the golden armor, very fancy, evil men. Yeah. They march through the Black Gate, right?
Yeah, I know them.
I quite like them. One of my favorite factions. And this is Dolwinian, which is basically like an elf-human faction. They make wine, and that's what they do.
Ooh, I like wine.
You like wine, yeah, I know you do. But they're a potential victim as well. But like I said, once we take Gondor, once we take Rohan, our plan is to try and take the One Ring. Because once we take the One Ring, you know what happens, right? If Mordor gets the One Ring, what happens?
Oh no. Don't ask me.
Who returns? Who returns?
Sauron?
Sauron returns, exactly. Because right now he's just an eye in the sky. Which, you know. And once he returns, then we unlock our full potential. Yes. Hooray, we got more roads, which is beautiful. Because roads means more trade, and also our units move faster to the front line. Let's see. Can I train anything useful? Not really. I think I'll wait for the barracks event. Minas Morgul got 2 more turns for the roads. Death I could do with a leather tanner because we're going to use these settlements to just pump out units like crazy. That said, I would like another ballista maker. And I think I'm just going to save the rest of my cash. You think that's a good idea?
You know, I like saving, so yeah, you should.
Well, we are Belgian after all. It's kind of in our nature to not spend money but to save it. Alright, well I think that's all for this turn. So the barracks event should really pop up soon, so maybe next turn. Alright, we just got a message that the Council Master of Bree is dead. You remember Bree, the prancing pony? That town where Frodo was supposed to beat Gandalf in the first movie? You remember that?
Is it in the town where they sleep?
Yeah, it's where they sleep and the Nazgûl come over and they like stab the pillows. Anyway, that guy's dead.
Okay.
So that doesn't bother us so much. We got a candidate for adoption. Yes, orcs like to adopt other orcs. It's a way to get new general. It's kind of cute, right?
It's actually.
So we're gonna accept that because he's useful. Ah, yes, we got the military report. This is the barracks event message. I'm just gonna. Or do you want to read it out? You can read it out if you want.
No,
I'll do it then.
Yeah.
Great tidings, my lord. Our armories and supply lines are now operating at full capacity, and our war effort has achieved maximum potency. Once the necessary supporting facilities are provided, our finest warriors and tools of war shall be yours to command. You need only march them to victory. So again, it satisfies. This is the end of the barracks event. You can now train all of your forces, and so can the enemy. Good luck.
Oh, so you can both actually train?
Yeah, it's a way to slow down the game a little bit, so you don't get like your strongest units from like the beginning, but it works for everyone. But it's something that the developers are removing for next versions because it's kind of artificial, you know? Doesn't make much sense. That, for example, a very small faction has the same amount of time necessary to get their strongest units together than like us, which is like number one. We should have already gotten our strongest units just because we're so big and strong. But right now, with the barracks event complete, we can, for example, get beast cages, which is a building that allows us to train trolls, for example. And let me tell you, trolls in battle, they are quite useful to have. Or we can upgrade our barracks, which gives us new units like, for example, Black Uruk halberds or Black Uruks, which are just a stronger orc variety.
Yeah.
So you can choose. Do we go for the Black Uruks first or the trolls? Your pick. You want the trolls?
The trolls, yeah, the trolls.
The beast gauge.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get that in. Actually, no, we can get that in Moran. No, because we're building stuff there. We'll get it in Baradur. We'll get the beast gauge there. And then in Durthang, I would like to upgrade the Black Keep, the Black Temple. Because that allows me to train Temple Wards and Temple Marksmen. If I get the Black Keep or the Black Castle, I can get Temple Knights. And Temple Knights, that's the unit that the Witch King used. Remember those horses?
Yeah.
So that's a very strong unit. The more you can have of them, just the better your day's gonna be.
Let's take them.
Alright, getting that. I'd like to get more troops on my front line so I don't have to... Ah, this guy's coming over. Hjörlein of Pinathgelen is trying to reclaim Ethring. But I just happen to have some armies passing by there, so we're going to reinforce that. Actually, I don't even need to bother with him. He's going to try and take Ethring, but he won't succeed because we already have Leofric there. And his name is literally the Terror of Middle-earth. Because he...
Oh, yeah.
What do you mean, oh yeah? do you know him? Have you met him?
No, I don't know him, but Terror of Middle-earth, I mean...
Sounds pretty scary, right?
It sounds
This guy, you can also look at his stats. His command is like pretty high. His fear is all over. Loyalty, acumen, which is basically your renown, how famous you are in the world.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So if his name is not taken lightly in Gondor. If they say Leofric's over there, kind of should back up. That's also the guy that we used to take down Minas Tirith, for example. That was Leofric as well. I think he killed Denethor, maybe Boromir and Faramir all as well. He's a pretty badass guy.
He's pretty strong.
Yeah, he's done a lot for us. So he's parked there for now. This is basically a screen that shows a lot of things about the settlement. So population growth is just how many more people are coming in. Public order is just peace. If it's too low, people can go rioting or revolting. We don't want that. But 130% is really high. Our income is how much money we get from the settlements. And then, yeah, finances. And then culture is a very important one to train units. So it's like 92% Dunedain culture, which is what Gondor is.
Yeah.
And only 4% Melkor Shadow, which is our culture. So we need more culture in order to get our strongest unit. So we're going to do that. And then Ethering, actually, Zagdur would be better for training troops because it's a castle. So once the hunting lodge is done, we'll get like barracks there. Metros is also a castle, I think. But yeah, we need more culture. So we're just going to ignore this guy. If he wants to try and take Ethering, that's fine. In the meantime, Shivus is just going to have a blast of a time walking over into the lands of Gondor, or whatever remains of it. And so will the Witch King. Because we did exterminate the populace, no one in their right mind is going to doubt our rule. So let's see which unit are we going to leave behind. This Moran on guard. So with only one unit, we can keep the peace. And we're going to park him here for now. We'll see what Edhellond does. If he attacks Ethering, let him be. I don't want him to take Edhellond behind our backs. Actually, I'll put the Witch King here. If he does move back to try and take Edhellond, we'll move the Witch King and take him down. Alright, now what's been happening with Edros? It seems that Rohan actually pushed back that Isengard stack. Beautiful. So what that means is that we can send in Zagar to besiege Edoras, and the problem is that this guy might try and attack us in the rear, which we don't want.
Okay.
I've already lost the battle at Edoras once. I don't want to repeat it. It's painful memories. So we're going to try and besiege it.
PTSS.
PTSS, yeah. PTSD it is in English.
Oh, sorry.
This is a pretty weak army, although they have 3 generals, which is scary. But it's pretty battered up because they've suffered.
Yeah.
They've already gone through a lot of battle, but this army seems pretty decent. So yeah, if they attack us in the rear, we'll see. We only need 1 turn, then we can attack at the rest. We'll see, yeah. We'll wait for that to happen. Grishnak, you can kind of come home. Now I did forget. I'm forgetting so many things. I'm so distracted. It's not your fault. It's just kind of. I did get an extra general, right? We adopted one, so he should be somewhere. There he is. So we can send him over to be a governor. So if you have a general in a settlement, he becomes a governor, and he just has a bunch of positive influences on the growth and the income and all that kind of jazz.
To keep the people happy.
To keep people happy, keep the people paying taxes and all that stuff, which is what we want. We want taxes, not lots of money.
Capitalist.
You're calling me a capitalist?
Yeah.
I guess that isn't too far off the truth. Let's see. We can get some more Southron units. I should also be able to upgrade the Southron buildings, I think, to give me better units of Harad. Let's see. What is the building that gives me? That's the Black Gate, isn't it? Southron Lancer. Yeah, I should be able to also get the Rune units. But what do I need for that? What do I need for that? The Beast Gauges? No. Barracks? Might be barracks. I'm not quite sure what I need for that. Oh, can I just recruit them? No, I can't. I need to be allied with the Rune, but I think I am. Yeah, we are. I don't know. Guess we'll save a little bit of cash now. Let's see if everyone's moving along. Well, yeah, you need to go to Ethering as well. Double. We have some decent units here that are kind of wasted in Goj up Parhor, so we can send them north as well. So we can also give Leofric a new army, because, you know, the Terror of Middle-earth, he shouldn't just be sitting in some settlement doing nothing, right? We need to send him in.
No, indeed.
A bunch of buildings being done, but I'm going to save some money because I want to focus on my military. Alright, so let's send it down then.
Okay.
We just got a message saying that Edoras is under siege, which is kind of funny, because that's us. We're doing that.
What?
We were attacking Rohan, right?
Yeah.
So but you get like messages when like important stuff happens around the world, just so you can keep up with like what's happening. So it's just a standard message. It's sent automatically, seeing as we're besieging Edoras. Oh, he's sending over so many forces. He even sent Hama over, which is a bit of a legendary general there. He's got Leowine parked right outside, which is scary, but okay. I think I can just run in there. Alright, so Prince Aldwolf, that should be the faction heir. So he's not the faction leader, but he's the heir, the next in line, right?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know who the faction leader is, to be honest, because we killed Theoden, king. So he was a faction leader, he died.
Yeah.
So I guess it's either Theodred if he's still alive, or Eomer if he's alive. Alright, so that's the thing. So Leowine will not help Edoras out, because I guess too far out of movement range. So we only need to fight whoever's in the settlement. Edoras itself is not the easiest to defend settlement, so we will have a decent enough time. I don't think it has towers, for example, to fire at us. And also their main strength, as you remember from the movie, right? Rohan was specialized in cavalry. They had a lot of horses. Horses are kind of useless inside of walls, right? They can't really charge forward. They can't pick up speed. Yeah, exactly.
They don't have room, actually.
Yeah, they don't have room to maneuver, so that gives us a huge benefit because we have no horses. We don't rely on horses at all. What I did forget to bring in this army is archers. I only have infantry. I basically have just a big infantry stack. So it's not going to be the easiest of battles. We're going to have to do a little bit of strategy. But we should be okay. So you want to just jump straight in?
What do you think is the best? I mean...
Yeah, let's go for it.
Sure.
So yeah, this is Edoras. Do you remember it from the movie? The golden halls up top? Remember when they arrived and Theoden was sitting on his throne?
The one with the sick king?
Yeah, he was sick because he was under the corruption of Saruman.
Yeah, indeed.
We kind of put him out of his misery, to be honest.
It's good for the guy.
Yeah, we killed him and now he doesn't have to worry about it. So this is Edoras, which is...
So you have to break through the walls?
Yeah, we have to either break through the walls or gates. Specific locations have a gate. For example, here's a gate, which they can open or close. And we can batter down. We do spawn rather far away, so we're actually going to take like this corner here, which is... I guess this is the... you know, it's kind of important. We don't want to like get stuck in a big grind up the hill. But I think we have to do that anyway. That's alright. So we're just going to park our units in front here. I actually lied, we do have a couple of archers. I've kind of just glossed over them. So let's send in the Orc Maulers. Temple Marksmen as well. The Orc Maulers with the battering rams. So now I just have to shout Grond a lot of times. Remember Grond?
Yeah, I know it. From the Facebook page.
You know the Facebook page? Yeah. Alright, so we're just going to march the men forward. They're going to knock down the gates. Is still, the wall's still a little bit damaged from a previous fight they had. So he just parked his ass up here. Got like spears, got some horses.
What up?
They're just peasants with armor. But these guys, the Rohan bodyguard, they are a very strong unit. You can tell. You can just look at them. Compare these horses.
Yeah, I know. They're...
Compared to these horses, just more armored. Yeah. Fully decked out. Very nice. I like the mane on their head. It's really cool.
That's actually pretty nice.
Yeah, it's very Hungarian inspired. I think it is. I don't know what it is. Someone will correct me if I'm wrong. So we're going to send our archers forward. Perhaps we can already whittle away at them a little bit from down here. So these are the Nazgûl... Who did we send in again? I forgot his name. I think it was Zagar. He has Temple Marksmen, so it doesn't have the knights that the Witch King does, but he has an archer unit. So they're Black Numenorians, which is basically evil people. So they're human behind that armor and that face mask.
They're just bad humans.
Yeah, but it's all perspective, isn't it? They're only bad in your eyes. They're good in their eyes, right?
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. They're evil by nature, I know. But they are much better archers than these guys, the Orc archers. I mean, these guys are good. Don't get me wrong; they're decent. There's a lot worse out there, but these guys, they have steel bows, so their bows are made out of steel instead of wood. I mean, it's a special kind of wood, which is like steel, and they just have a lot more range. They can fire from way further. Their arrows also pierce armor, so if you get hit by it, it doesn't matter if you wield, full plate or chainmail or anything. It just goes through it. Just kills you. Alright, so now our troops are arriving. I'm going to send in all the rest as well. Why not, eh?
Will they run?
They might. I don't know if they will. I think for now they're just going to park their ass up here. They're not going to do anything. Ideally, I'd attack from both sides, but that would take a little bit. And I don't want to do that.
Oh, wait, there were more units?
Yeah, a couple horses, yes, then that. More Rohan bodyguard. Thing is, they can't charge. They can't. So that's their main strength, a charge. And they pick up speed and just ram their lance in your face. They can't do that now. Alright, so we are battering down the walls and the gate. Look at them just going nuts. Boing, boing, boing. Again on the gate as well. 90%, 96. That one's down. Walls going down as well. We can just pour our men in there. So it's going to be a bit of a grind. Unless, you know what, perhaps I should send a small regiment just over the other side. So you guys grab a ram. Well, we'll get together like a small regiment. Let's see, Orc Maulers, Moran Guard. Those 4 units, let's group them up. They'll go round. They can knock down this gate, perhaps. Yeah, this gate, and then we can kind of sandwich the enemy.
Okay.
But for now, we're going to send in the Morannon Guard to form a front line. And then we're going to try and use the Temple Marksman to whittle away at them, do some damage with our arrows.
Okay.
The more units we shoot, the less we have to fight in melee. And I don't think they have any archers, or maybe a couple of horse archers. I think these guys have javelins, which is like a throwing spear. It's a javelin.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's running forward with his javelin then. Skirmishers, they're called. Ered skirmishers, because my temple marksmen are coming out first, which I don't want. So they're going to throw the javelins. They do a decent amount of damage. I would rather not have him throw that stuff in my... Ah, that guy already fell. Yeah.
I felt that.
You felt that?
It just fell down.
I think a lot of my viewers felt that as well, because it's a very elite unit that I just kind of threw 4 men away. That's alright. They respawn, so it's okay. It's one of the few units that respawns. So I'm just going to try and run forward. He's dumb, so we'll just stay there. I'm dumb as well.
Do they still have a sword?
Yeah. Yes. Once they run out of ammo, they can still fight in melee. I think they get like an axe or something. Yeah, see, they got an axe. Because now they're fighting in melee. Same with our archers, for example. They also have like a club or a sword or whatever they have. They've got something at least. Alright, so you guys don't fire. So these guys, Morannon Guard, should have an easy time against the other skirmishers, but they're kind of spazzing out. They're running the wrong way. And that kind of happens a lot in siege battles. Siege battles are difficult to program. Because, you know what pathfinding is?
What?
Pathfinding.
No.
If I tell this unit to go here, the AI will calculate which route do I have to take. And in this case, I can only take one path, which is this one, because this is obstructed. And that's pathfinding. But if there's multiple paths, then he's like, okay, which is the quickest way to get there, the best way to get there. And that sometimes spazzes out, and they just start running up mountains and all that kind of jazz. It's really weird. Alright, but we're just crushing those Ered skirmishers, just kind of throwing away, not giving them proper support. So he has some horse archers, about 14, which I'm not too concerned of. I'd rather shoot the Rohirrim. Or this Royal Guard, perhaps, but the Rohirrim, there's 62 of them, so they're a better target. Alright, so Morannon Guard having a good time. Send in some maulers to flank. These guys are making progress. Oh, they actually ran out. God damn it. Bloody asshats ran out.
Oh, wait,
They were inside the gate, right? And they ran out to attack me, which is smart. I won't give them that. It is smart. Because they could just kill a lot of our maulers. That's where they excel, you know? Not inside the walls, but outside the walls. But these guys are dropping like flies. Just being shot by the Temple Marksman, the steel bows, armor piercing. Every shot is basically a kill. So they're just scrambling. They're like, oh no, what do we do? Because at one point, because that's kind of like the problem with the AI. They really want to defend the square, but they're like being shot. So like maybe we should sally out and like stop them from shooting us. But we need to protect the square. So they're like conflicting, and they're like, what do we do?
It's a difficult choice for
it is a difficult choice, yeah. And yeah, the AI isn't always the smartest. But yeah, that's an old game. They're returning fire on us, bloody assets. Let's do some Nazgûl. Yeah, you heard that one, didn't you?
Yeah.
Alright, so the Royal Guard. Oh, it's the Royal Bodyguard as well. It's one of their generals. Bloody hell, mate. Can you not do that? Are you laughing at my Britishness in this situation?
So not you.
It is, kinda, if you watch my videos.
No, it's not.
Alright, let's keep. Don't shoot the Rohirrim. No. Who do we shoot? I don't want to shoot peasant scouts. It feels like such a waste. They're peasants, literally. It's in their name. But it's a better target. So we're just gonna grind our way up there. We're just gonna take a little bit. They're pulling back, which is rather annoying. We killed a couple of them, but not nearly enough. Oh, he's charging in again. The AI is being weirdly smart. Did not expect that. But that is the correct play for them to make.
Oh, so...
Yes?
They're running away? Like that?
Yeah, they're kind of like, oh, they're coming from that angle as well, so we need to do something.
Oh, so they're going to the gate?
Yeah, they're going to defend that gate, which is good for me, because that means less pressure on this side. We are, like, once we get up here, the Rolling Spearmen will drop pretty quickly. The Axemen might put up more of a fight. But we should be okay. You can already shoot them. We got some reserves in here, so we're going to send them closer already. Send them in. But then over here, what's going on over here? Alright, so he's sending in his Rowan Bodyguard, one of his 3 generals. So we need to make sure that we kill them. That'll make our lives quite a bit easier. And my phone is buzzing, okay. So you hear a lot of the carnage now?
Yeah.
Isn't it cool to... Oh, look at that horse fell there.
Yeah, it's a school, but it's difficult. I mean,
It's
really
difficult. Yeah, it's difficult to keep track of what's going on. Well, right now there's not much going on, which is why I'm doing some of the cinematic shots. They just need to fight. I don't even really need to intervene. I tell them to fight. The AI tells them to fight. They just fight. As people are yelling outside for some bloody reason. I don't know why. It's always when I start recording. My neighbors are like, "Oh, he's recording. Start making background noise." Yeah, they feel it. They're like, "Oh, I need to go bother Izzy a bit." All right. Keep fighting, lads. Let's take a look. We've already killed 16%, 17%, and they've killed 7% of us, so that's pretty good. So we're winning in both absolute numbers and relative numbers.
What was the red thing again?
The red thing is a balance of power. We are red, they are black. So the more red, the better our odds are. Yeah.
Okay.
So it also says right here, victory is a distinct possibility. So the game calculates, the computer programming behind the game calculates that we have a better shot. Yeah, it predicts we're gonna win. But the game, you know, we shouldn't blindly trust it, because it only takes statistics into account. It only looks at like melee defense, melee attack. For example, a horse is very good because it can run in, charge, and pull out again. But it doesn't calculate that into it. It just looks, oh, that horse has that much attack, that much defense. In a straight up fight, a horse gets massacred. A horse unit, because they're a smaller unit, and you know they're not that good in melee in prolonged combat, but their strength is exactly what they're doing: charging in and then pulling out, charging in again. And if you're playing, you can do it more efficiently than the AI does it. You won't lose many units.
No.
So that's why, yeah. If you, for example, do auto resolve, which is basically you let you don't fight your battles manually.
Yeah. You
let the AI decide it. Rohan always gets shafted. They always get the short end of the stick. The straw, I guess it is. I'm going to do Nazgûl again, don't be afraid. Not that it does that much, but it might cost them in fighting. It just makes people a bit war-weary. Alright, we need to keep sending it. These guys are very tired, so I'm going to send in a fresh unit to take over. These guys are very tired as well. So. But we need to, yeah, this is like a very small corridor, which we need to push through, which is rather annoying, but he's already setting up his defenders here as well. Alright, but that general's finally surrounded. He should drop dead now, so that's good. Oh no, he's trying to run. Oh, that's not the general though. That's part of his bodyguard. This is the general, the one with the red cape. Who is it? It might be the prince. I don't know. He's getting chopped up though, but he has a lot of hit points, so he does tank quite a bit. He doesn't care, man. He's just getting chopped up. He's like leading the men. Come on, lads.
He doesn't give up?
Yeah, he doesn't give up, and I want him to give up. I want him to die. Give up on life, mate. Come on. No, he's like, oh.
Still going?
Yeah, he's going strong. We'll get back to him. You might hear a message pop up in your ear saying like the enemy general's dead, and then a message also pops up on the left here. And then we know. And if it says our general is dead, then I will be very shocked. He really shouldn't be dying. Alright, how's it looking? It's just walking off. Alright, let's grab the ram again, because that was my plan entirely for these units, to grab the ram and start knocking down a gate. We just got distracted with
Are they getting shot?
Who's getting shot? These guys? No, these are not towers. They look like towers, but they're not actual towers. They don't have arches in them.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's rain. No?
I don't see any rain. Oh yeah, that is rain. Yeah, just barely. It's like a little bit of rain. No one's getting shot. They have very few archers. They only had a couple of horse archers. I think they all might be dead or out of ammo. I think they're dead. I don't see them anymore. I think that was them right here. Yep, there they are. They're not in the. This guy, yeah. I mean, I feel sorry about the horses, not as much the men. This guy's still clinging onto his bow, so. That's
still holding on.
Yes, dead giveaway. Alright, let's keep firing on the Western defenders as well. Alright, it's looking rather good. Maulers keep sending in. The lone horseman right here, the general. That might. I think that is
what union or thing is that?
That's a Western Defenders unit.
Okay.
It's a garrison unit. So you have specific buildings that you can get in settlements. It's called a what's it called again? An armory, and that gives you units whenever you're under attack. So that is not a unit they can send out on the field. It's not a unit that's actually dead. They don't even pay upkeep for it, so they don't cost anything. But if they get attacked, they get that unit for free. That's what I call a defender unit. They're called Western Defenders because there's like you got like Gondorian defenders.
They just defend.
They just defend, yeah. They're a pretty decent unit. Actually, I take a look. So they have 8 attack and 15 defense.
And yeah.
So 8 attack and 15 defense. It's just a way to compare them. For our Moran God have 3 attack and 9 defense, but there's more of them. But like the Maulers, they do 5 attack, but they're armor piercing. So it's a lot of calculations to take into account. So by all means, they're a good unit. They're not an amazing unit, but you know,
they're okay.
Yeah, for getting them for free. I mean, relatively free. You need to pay for the building, of course. Yeah, pretty good. They also got some farmers here, for example, with pikes. We've lost the building. What building? Gateway? Where was the gateway? We're getting attacked in the rear. We are getting attacked in the rear. Where did they come from? Jesus Christ. I've not been paying attention. Where did they come from? What the hell? I have no idea where they came from. It doesn't matter too much. So they're fighting now. We're going to try to surround them, which will make our lives a bit easier. It will make that unit a lot weaker.
Still coming.
Yeah, I see the horses. They're just peasants though. So if they want to run into my Moran Guard, they'll die. Because they're spears, so they get a bonus against cavalry.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's handy.
Yeah, spears are deemed to be an anti-cavalry unit, anti-cavalry weapon, because it's very long, so you can hit the guy on top of the horse. You can just knock him off. Alright, these guys are rather annoying. They are rather annoying. I'm gonna Nazgûl scream and charge forward, and then I'm just gonna kill him. So they just got themselves surrounded. They can't run this way. They will no longer be able to run that way. So they kind of screwed them. It was a good idea in theory, but it didn't really work out for them. I do need to keep an eye on the timer, though. No, not that timer.
Oh,
not my YouTube video length timer, but the battle timer. If a battle takes too long, the win is automatically going to the defenders.
Where do you see the timer?
It's this one here, the little sand dial thingy. So that guy is still alive, that one general. Ugh, some of these generals have so many hit points that just don't die. It's a little absurd. It is annoying, but also absurd. They're like getting chopped up for hours, and they're like, yeah, I'm fine, I'm good. They don't care. Alright, this Royal Guard as well is super strong. But once we get through them, the rest should be a little bit easier, except for these guys. But like Peasant Militia, meh. More Western Defenders, eh. Not amazing. Peasant Scouts, not amazing either. That general is still alive. That is so annoying. These guys are surrounded. They're chopping through. Oh, these Western Defenders are really good. These ones are dying at the... Oh! We have killed Prince Aldwulf, so we've killed the faction now.
That's the one.
That's
the lonely general.
I assume it is, yes, because we've been chopping away at him for hours now. It feels like hours. Alright, let's send in the Nazgûl. He motivates the men just by existing as well, which is good. Yeah, it's important, because our orcs don't have the best morale. They're not the most keen. They run easily. They're like easily, oh no, we're going to lose. So it's important to keep them happy, keep them satisfied, you know.
Yeah.
Give them hope. And if you have like a Nazgûl just sitting behind them, like screaming in their ears,
they
like
just feel secure with a Nazgûl.
Not as much secure.
No, it's secure, but
they have no other choice. They're like, perhaps we should keep fighting. It's not a motivational Nazgûl. It's more like a do or die Nazgûl. All right, so just like slowly pushing our way up the hill. Battle timer is about halfway there. We should be okay because we've killed 53%. We've lost 26, which is more than I would like, because no doubt once we take the settlement, there will be retaliations. They will revenge. They'll try to take it back, so they'll send an army to take it back. They might even get like a specific scripted stack for that, which we'll see. Then again, if they do push back, these guys are just pushing like crazy. It will be mostly an archer, not an archer, a cavalry-based army, which we should be all right against. Yeah, man, this is just tough. These Westron defenders are an amazing unit. I think they're easily the strongest defender unit. I might be wrong on that, but I think they're up there, definitely. They might be as strong as the Dwarven ones, or the Elven ones. But they have smaller units. So they're stronger, but there's like only like 100 of them. Whilst these guys, I think, were 160. So that matters, you know?
Yeah, sure.
Makes a big difference. Alright, you guys already get the ram, please. They're gonna die. They're surrounded. They're pushed back against the wall, trying to fend off the orcs. It doesn't work out for them. I mean, it works out for them a little bit too much, but not enough. Alright, get the ram. They're on the ram. Alright, let's go knock down the gate. Knock, knock, motherfucker. And then send in maulers. If they can squeeze through, please. Oh my god. Like, everyone's just queuing up, waiting for that turn to slaughter some Rohan.
There was so much people, no, orcs there.
Yeah, they're just waiting because it's too narrow. They can't squeeze through. They're trying. This is the pathfinding kind of spazzing out. That's why I wanted to open up the second front, so we can move it from two sides. By the time these guys arrived, they're already half slaughtered because they fought off a prince and then a Western defender unit. So he's moving a bit. Peasant scouts, I'm not worried about them. But if we can then like squeeze him in, we're gonna do a lot better. But the time is running really low. We really need to hurry, but I just can't move any quicker. I mean, I guess I could put these guys on shield wall, but oh my god, it's very annoying. If we're gonna lose this one because of the battle timer, I'm gonna be very upset. I'll have to redo them. I will be, because it's like such a waste of time. Alright, kill the peasant scouts. They should be really easy to kill. They're just peasants. They're peasants on horses.
You never know.
Or they're going to be like highly motivational killers. No, look, they're just dropping like flies.
Oh.
Their defense is very low. They're not made for war, you know. That's not what they do. They're made for farming, yeah. Getting potatoes. Yeah, see, they're running. And now we can possibly surround. Oh, the battle time's running really low. I'm really starting to get scared. We're almost there, though. Yeah, it's going a lot faster now. Now that we can squeeze in there.
How much percent do you need?
100% or the town square. That's the thing. We need to kill everyone in this case. They're not going to rout. They're not going to run away. But we have them surrounded now, you see? The green's on both sides, the red's in the middle. And when you're surrounded, you do a lot less damage. As in, you die easier because you're surrounded, right? Your morale takes a hit, but then again, morale doesn't really matter in this case. I'm going to pull back my Nazgûl because he might die otherwise, which I don't want. They are immortal, but they can die. As in, they'll just come back after a while. Yeah. But it does take 15 turns, which is quite a long time.
That's a lot.
So, yeah, exactly. We want them on the front line. We don't want them to be in limbo. The battle timer's running low, but I think we'll be good. Let's keep the Nazgûl a little closer just to motivate the men. Yeah, right now I'm running on 6 times speed, so it just goes down a lot faster because, well, there's not much to look at or to do. There's not much strategy to be done. Oh, man, that timer's running really low. I'm starting to get scared. Alright, but they're very close to dying. 92%. They only have 8% men left. But that 8% is not a bad 8%. It is some bodyguards, some yawning spearmen. Tanky units. But I think we got this. What do you think? You think we got this?
I'm sure you do.
Oh, thank you. You're very kind.
I'm a supportive girlfriend.
You're a supportive girlfriend. That's all I need. So that... Oh, man, they're so tanky. We're just shoving them... Oh, actually, we're going to win in 4 minutes. Because we have control over the town square.
The room between the flags.
Exactly. The timer's running really low, but I think we'll have 3 minutes. I don't know. It might be very close, but they just don't die. Come on, die, please. Oh, this is too close. This is too close for comfort, man. How does he still have 2 generals? I think he still has 2 generals because I never got that second message, right? I see one here. Oh, there's another one there. 1 minute. It is really close. There's like barely any blue in there. Come on, lads. They're not gonna die before 40 seconds because they're generals. It's so close. 5, 4, 3, 2. Yes, we won! We got it! Oh, that was too close, man.
It was a matter of seconds, I think.
I really think it was. 'Cause look at the timer. There's like a little smidge of blue left. So we did it. We took Edhellond, which is a really big achievement. Yeah, I said I was going to be back in my last video when I lost the battle. I was like, I'll be back. We lost a lot of good men though. We lost. All right, we have over half remaining because we have 51% remaining.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. It's decent. I mean, they killed more of us, but yeah, I mean, if they do retaliate, if they do get like a revenge army, we're on the defense against horses. We should be okay. We'll see though. Alright, anyway, let's go back to the strategy map. Alright, and there we go. The last defenders of Edhellond are phasing out of existence. I don't think that kills the family tree, so I think Rohan will still be alive. So what do? We occupy, sack, or exterminate. So we're going to kill about 8,000 people, or 9,000 people in this case. About 2.3k in this case, no one in this case. Your choice.
Will there be a lot of...
rebellion?
Yeah.
I think so if you occupy it. Because there's a lot of people in there. We don't have that many men because we lost a few in the battle. It's going to be hard to keep the peace, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
So yeah, if I can nudge you in the exterminate direction, that would be...
I think that's the best for you.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And it also fits thematically with Mordor. You know, we're not very peace-loving people. Alright, so we've taken Edhellond, which is great. Because Isengard's on my side, sorta. They're also evil. But I don't really like Isengard. I mean, I like Isengard, but in this campaign I don't like him.
Why?
Because they're led by Saruman, and Saruman's one of the Maya, one of the wizards.
Yeah, I know.
Like Gandalf.
I know who he is. It's a bad wizard.
He is a bad wizard, but he's still a wizard. And Sauron's a Maya as well, just a much stronger Maya. And that's one of my unofficial victory conditions, to kill all the other Maya. So Saruman's on my list, he needs to die. Gandalf's on my list, he needs to die. Radagast, which you don't know because we haven't seen the Hobbit movies yet. We'll see the Hobbit movies at one point, but they're not as good.
I saw them, but it's a long time ago.
You remember Radagast? No. He's like a wizard in brown, and he runs with rabbits. He's very memorable.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh my god.
Well, that guy needs to die as well. He needs to go. I know.
Bunnies.
I won't touch the bunnies.
Okay.
Only Radagast needs to die. So I'm going to start by repairing the walls, because if they're going to do a counterattack and our walls are still breached, that's not ideal. No. So we're going to we're going to destroy the stables. Going to round off the episode now. Just one more thing I really need to take care of, because otherwise I'll forget, is obtain so the game wants me to obtain a trade agreement with the realm of Lothlorien, which are the elves. You remember them. Galadriel, remember her?
Oh,
in the first movie? That's that domain there. Karas Galathol. We need to move there. So that's our diplomat. He's going to get a trade agreement. So yeah, I'm going to round off the episode here. I'll do the economic stuff and renaming at the start of next episode. I see Harrods popping up near Dol Amroth, so they might... Actually, if I were to attack now, just to check, would they help me out? They would not. Okay. So what did we achieve in this episode? We took Metrast, because they never sell it out. They just let us have it. We took Edhellond, and we took Edoras. So I'd say that's a pretty good victory, right? That's a pretty good episode.
I bring luck.
You bring good luck. That is actually true, because we took a decent amount of... So what do you think? That was a good episode? Did you like it?
Yeah, I think. But it's such a big story, so...
It is a big story. It's a big world, yeah.
Difficult to understand, but I think I get it a bit, so...
Do you like it? Did you have fun today? I think that's the most important question. That's not a very convincing answer.
No, I really liked it.
You really liked it? Okay, that's good. So will we see you again? Maybe.
If they like it.
If the viewers like having you around. Yeah, that's important. Maybe they hate you.
Oh my god. I don't want that.
We'll see. No doubt. We'll see. Okay, so one last thing. You know, last time when I said that this guy was going to go after Ethering, this guy, Herloin of Penithgalen.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, he's not going to take it because Leofric's there. And I was like, I'm going to keep the Witch King close just in case he goes after Edhellond. He's doing exactly that. And he just kind of screwed himself because he just parked himself on a bridge. We're going to attack him.
Okay.
And, I mean, just imagine you're leading an army. What's the one place you don't want to get stuck at? It's on a bridge because you're on a very narrow field. You can only move your troops pretty much one at a time. And we have a ballista. So what we can do is fire from very far away with our ballista, forcing him to come attack us, making him cross the bridge, and just shoot him down with our archers. So we're about to exterminate this army, Herloin the Fair, one of the last original generals of Gondor, one of the last hopes. He does have Penithgalen cavalry, I think. Yep, because he is the governor of the region of Penithgalen.
Yeah, okay.
So he has a very strong cavalry unit, and he also has some Blackroot Vale archers, which are a decent unit, these guys. But they're gonna die, and that's another general down. And then this guy, Shivus, I think. Yep, Shivus. Can just keep moving. You can take down Captain General Golasgil. Oh, he's a factionaire, actually. Interesting. And take this settlement, Kalamar. Yeah. So that's what we'll do next turn, or next episode, episode 12. And also rename some of us. So again, if you have any recommendations, you guys, for Dol Amroth, Edhellond, Methrast, and Edoras, I know I've already gotten some, but every recommendation is welcome. Ethering as well. Do let me know. And with that said, I think it is time we say our goodbyes. I'm going to say goodbye. You're going to say goodbye as well?
Yeah, goodbye.
Until next time, right?
Yeah, maybe.
We'll see.